Hi there and welcome. My name is Kia and I understand that you are a very special child because you have found your way here to this particular story which I want to tell you. This story will be about everything and at the same time about nothing. It will be about a little boy called Liam and a little girl called Lily. Liam and Lily were siblings, and Liam was Lily's big brother. But before I start telling the story, I want you to lie down comfortably and close your eyes. I want you to have it as nice and cozy as you know best. You can close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let your body relax and let it become heavy and soft as you keep breathing. Just breathe and relax. Let your body sink into the bed and let your head sink into the pillow. Just close your eyes and relax. Now, let's start the story. Liam was a very talented and active boy. Whatever he did it brilliantly. He could play football, he could skate, he could ski, and he could ride a bike. And he loved competing against other children. He had very high demands on himself. And if he wasn't the best at something, he often became both angry and sad. He liked to show the other children how talented he was, and it was important to him to get praise. He had many toys and everything he could wish for, but still he wasn't truly happy. He constantly wanted more and new things. He saw himself as a tough boy, and he had a hard time showing any emotion, and he especially didn't want to cry. Lily, on the other hand, was just the opposite. Not that she wasn't clever, because she was, but she liked doing completely different things to what Liam did. She enjoyed painting, dancing and singing, and she liked to spend time by herself. She never felt alone, and she was always smiling. And she was always close to laughter. Lily was happy most of the time. Seeing a beautiful flower could make her overjoyed and also make her cry with happiness. And feeling the wind in her hair made her laugh. And she would also laugh out loud with joy when she felt raindrops against her face. It was these little everyday things so many take for granted that made Lily so very happy. She didn't need new things to make her happy. And if her parents ever asked her if there was anything she needed, she would usually say no thanks, because she was perfectly happy with everything just the way it was. What is it that makes you feel extra happy? Liam and Lily were like night and day. They were as different as two siblings can be. Liam had trouble sleeping in the evenings because he was always thinking about how he could be even better at doing different things so that he would get more attention and praise from others. Lily, on the other hand, always fell asleep quickly and always with a smile on her face. Before she fell asleep, she would lie down and try to get as comfortable as possible. And she would take long and deep breaths. She thought about everything that she had experienced during the day. She thought about all the funny and happy moments, which meant that she always had a smile on her face. And she felt gratitude and joy for being alive. Her deep and slow breaths helped her to fall asleep. And she always felt safe and calm when she did. Liam was actually a little jealous of his sister. He wondered how she could always be so happy and content, especially when she didn't really want or need anything. While he, on the other hand, had everything he wanted, but still, it didn't make him feel really happy or satisfied. Liam didn't really understand this. And the more he thought about it, the more jealous he became. It happened quite often that he was a little mean to Lily. Sometimes he would pull her by the hair or push her, or deliberately mess up a game she was playing. And sometimes he would say stupid things to her. But Lily never reacted as he hoped she would. She would just look at Liam with a small smile on her face and tell him that you are good enough, just as you are. I love you, whatever you do. Liam was rather annoyed that Lily could be so happy all the time. Didn't she understand that she had to take this seriously? That one has to achieve something really good to be liked and to be someone important. As soon as Liam tried to tell Lily this, she just laughed and hugged him, telling him to laugh along and not to take things or himself so seriously. Enjoy the little things in life. Just look at the beautiful flowers there in the ditch, was the kind of thing she would tell him. In the winter, when it was snowing, she would tell him to close his eyes and lift his face to the sky, to open his mouth and stick his tongue out and let the snowflakes land on his cheeks and on his tongue. Liam thought Lily was ridiculous and that she was just being silly. Surely behaving like this wouldn't make anyone happy. Does the feeling of having raindrops or snowflakes landing on your cheeks make you feel happy? Their parents didn't know that Liam was sometimes a little mean to Lily, because Lily never said anything to them. She knew that deep down Liam wished he was more like her, easygoing and laughing a bit more. One day, when the children were together out in the woods just behind the house, Liam wanted to show off a bit by balancing on a fallen tree, but he lost his footing and slipped. He fell to the ground and stepped into a hole and got his foot stuck. It hurt, and Liam was afraid that the foot was injured. What if he couldn't be able to play football or ride a bike for a while? He thought to himself. Lily ran up to him and tried to help, but because Liam was a little bit afraid, he got angry with Lily and started screaming at her. "Get out of here! Just leave me alone!" Liam was so used to coping with things by himself that the thought of someone else helping him, especially if it was his little sister, was scary to him. But Lily didn't really care what Liam thought, so she patiently sat beside him and tried her best to comfort him with kind words. Liam tried in every way to get his foot free, but no matter how hard he tried, it didn't work. The foot was stuck. He struggled and struggled to get his foot free, but with each attempt he made, it only seemed to make matters worse. Finally, he couldn't hold back the tears anymore. Big tears streamed down his cheeks, tears of pain, fear, and disappointment. Lily leaned forward and hugged Liam and continued to whisper comforting words in his ears. When Liam had calmed down a bit, Lily stood up and took a closer look at the hole where Liam's foot was stuck. It was a large root from a tree in the hole, and Liam's foot was trapped under the root. So little wonder why he couldn't get his foot free. She went to look for a strong stick to be able to hack away the soil around the hole, to make the hole bigger. But Liam didn't want to be left by himself, and he clung to Lily while sobbing his heart out. It felt like, now that he had allowed himself to cry, he simply couldn't stop crying. Out came all the tears that he had held within him for so long. Tears of anger, disappointment, and jealousy. Lily remained sitting there next to Liam, hugging him tightly, just letting her big brother cry for as long as he needed to. They sat there for a long, long time. When Liam no longer had any tears left, he wiped his face and his runny nose with his shirt. His face was now smudged with soil, and he looked grubby. Despite this, Lily caressed his cheek, and while smiling at him, she said, "What a nice big brother I have." Normally, he would have gotten annoyed and embarrassed to hear her say this. But this time, he was surprised as he felt his lips forming a smile. He surprised himself even more by saying back to Lily, "And what a fine sister I have." Both children were now smiling at each other. All of a sudden, Liam felt like his foot wasn't stuck anymore. When he had stopped resisting and relaxed his body, his foot had changed position, which meant he could now gently pull his foot out of the hole with Lily's help. He stood up carefully whilst leaning on Lily, who kept saying words of encouragement to him like, "You can do this, Liam." Together and with their arms around each other, they made their way home. It felt very unusual for Liam to lean on Lily, but oh, it felt so nice. He could sense that the tension in his body had been released, and this in turn made him feel lighthearted. They soldiered on home as best as possible, while still smiling and chatting with each other. In the evening, when they were going to bed, for the first time since they were really small, Liam wanted to sleep in the same bed as Lily. Mom and Dad both looked at each other, a little surprised, but they didn't say anything. They just smiled gently as they tucked the children into bed next to each other. When the children had first come home, they had noticed that Liam seemed a little different, that he had changed. Even though his face was smudged with dirt and tears, he had a very different look in his eyes and a different expression on his face. Once alone in the bedroom, Liam said thank you to Lily. "I don't know what I would have done without you today. And I now understand how stupid and ridiculous I have been all this time, with me just focusing on trying to do everything as best as possible. I have placed way too many demands on myself, and I have not enjoyed doing all of the little things that we kids are supposed to do. Letting out all those trapped tears has made me feel joyful. I see the world with different eyes now, and it's thanks to you, Lily. Without your positive and relaxed outlook on life, I wouldn't have been able to get my foot out today." The children cuddled up close together, and Liam let his sister hold him. He sighed with contentment as he thought about the day. He had been lucky. His foot was just a little bit sore, and in a couple of days he would probably be able to ride his bike and play football again. And this time he was going to do it just for fun, instead of like before, just to impress or to compete with others. He wanted to learn from Lily the importance of not taking things so seriously. After all, he was still a child who needed to play and have fun with his friends and with his sister. Imagine that, someone who is satisfied with the smallest thing in life can teach the one who is never satisfied and who seemingly has everything to appreciate the smaller things in life. He felt how Lily had fallen asleep with her arms around him. He looked at her lovingly, caressed her cheek, smiled, and took a deep breath. He slowly felt himself sinking deeper and deeper into sleep and into the world of dreams. His eyelids grew heavier and heavier, and his breathing became deeper and slower. Soon he too was sleeping, feeling very calm and safe. With his sister's little arms hugging him, it felt so nice to be held by her. Now it's also time for you to go to sleep, while feeling safe and calm. Just let yourself be swept away into a world of dreams. Sleep tight.